Welcome to another video, A Walk on the Wild Side, and I am here in Blackpool. I'm just in the grounds here of Waterloo Methodist Church. It's a bit of a sad sight, folks. This building has been empty for well over a decade, I'd say. There's a little bit of it around the back that they use for jumble sales, that sort of thing, but the church itself, they're trying to sell the building. They've been trying to sell it for ages. My mum and dad actually got married here. We're at the junction, the very, very busy junction with Spen Corner. Now, one of the roads that leads off Spen Corner is called Marton Drive, and it's where I grew up. And there's a new initiative to plant trees, to replant trees along Marton Drive to replace some of the dead ones over the decades. How about that? A new scheme to plant trees in Blackpool. Yeah, so this is Waterloo Road Methodist Church. It's a bit of a sad sight these days, folks. They're trying to keep the gardens tidy. People come in every so often and tidy the garden a little bit. I remember actually when I think my dad used to do a bit on the garden, you know, back in the olden days when it was running as a church, but this is the way it looks at the moment. Just here is Waterloo Road, and just over there is Spen Corner, the very, very busy junction. I'm just coming out of the church grounds, and this road here is called Arnott Road. Interesting little road. It has a concrete surface which was just tarmacked over, as you can see. Sectional concrete surface, and this would have met up with Spen Corner at one time, but it was blocked off, well, before my time anyway. As you can see here, we've got a bit of a cul-de-sac here. So this is Spen Corner, and Spen Corner named after Spen Dyke, of course, which was the dike which brought the peaty water to Manchester Square, where it created the Blackpool, hence the name Blackpool. So Spen Corner, named after Spen Dyke, which gave the name to Blackpool. Yeah, so the street where I grew up, Marton Drive here in Blackpool, which has always had trees. It's always been a tree-lined street, and I keep talking about how Blackpool has a distinct lack of trees and green spaces, and I was lucky enough to grow up on a road that had trees, and not only trees but grass verges as well, although saying that, these days the grass verges, they tend to have like Amazon drivers, wheel spinning all over. We'll see a bit of that when we head down Marton Drive in a minute, but I just want to read out this letter that was handed to the residents of Marton Drive recently, and it says here, I'll put it on the screen for you. Councillors for Hallside and Victoria Woods have come together to try to restore Marton Drive to its former tree-lined glory. Many residents will recall that Marton Drive was lined with trees all the way from Spen Corner, where we are now, to Watson Road. The ambition is to once again have a tree-lined Marton Drive, but this time to use a mix of trees to ensure we don't suffer the catastrophic loss of one particular type of tree. That would be the elm trees, Dutch elm disease. The purpose of this letter is to seek your views on the plan. I won't bother reading all of it out, but there's a paragraph further down that says it's a fact that homes in tree-lined neighbourhoods are more attractive to those wishing to move into the area, at the same time maintaining house prices and, in many cases, increasing their value. See, that's quite an important point, isn't it, folks? And I think one of the areas of Blackpool, I'm talking about the FY1 postcode, is where the highest concentration of people are. The density of properties as well is very, very extreme in that postcode, and there's very, very few green space or trees in that postcode. But we're not too bad here in FY4. We've got a few green spaces and trees, but it could be better. But anyway, this is something, folks. It's a start. I've just noticed that one of the names on the letter is Councillor Fred Jackson. He's been going for ages here in Blackpool. I think he used to own a stall in Aberdeen Street Market. Anyway, let's go and check out Marton Drive, shall we? You're going to have to excuse the traffic noise, folks, because this junction is so busy. Just to tell you a little bit of history, we've got shops here at the junction. Just over there we've got a salon. That used to be DMS for years and years. Motor spares, if anyone remembers that. Just over there we've got a park next to the school. Waterloo School, which is where I went. You can even see Blackpool Tower down there. Can you see Blackpool Tower? Hey, Blackpool Tower there. There you go. Just over here we've got another beauty parlour thing there. That used to be well, it was Topps Tiles last, And before that, it was a motor dealer. Yeah, I think it belonged to Thomas Motors, and they used to have quite posh cars in there. They had some Jaguar E-Types in there, I remember. So this road that crosses over here is called Horside Lane. So I'm going to take a walk over here and we'll head down Marton Drive. Let's go and see what Marton Drive's like, shall we? The street where I grew up. So it's changed a lot around here as well. Here's a look at some of the shops. Lots of boutiques, hair boutiques and salons all over the place, aren't they? They've got a dog groomer there. That used to be a vet's in the olden days. So we're now on Marton Drive. Look at this, a tree-lined road here in Blackpool. Sorry about the traffic noise, it's so busy. And you know, I remember when the eliminations traffic used to come down here. They used to send the eliminations traffic down here and then they go under the bridge. They go to Squiresgate Lane and they start the eliminations. Now look at this now. Let's see how many trees we can see, shall we? We've already got 2 either side here. Grass verges as well. We've got some posts over there. I think that's to stop the Amazon drivers driving on the lawns, and that's a problem. Look at this here, look at that, folks. Look, there's no respect, is there really? I mean, look at that. It's not just the Amazon drivers, is it? Hey, look at this. It doesn't need to be like this, does it really? I don't think. It wasn't like that when I grew up. It's not like the olden days, is it? I'm going to have a bit of a moan now. I remember the olden days when we used to look after some of these lawns ourselves, you know. We used to do our own little bit. 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got 10 trees up to the next junction. I think I'm sounding a bit like Victor Meldrew now, aren't I? Let me know if I'm a bit too Victor Meldrew in this video, or do I have a point? Well, there was a lawn there, not anymore. Yeah, I think you can actually park sort of on the curb without driving all over the grass verge. It is possible to do. I know it's winter, it probably looks a bit worse, but yeah, it can be done. I've just crossed the road. That road over there is called Tranmere Road. Another thing they've done here on Marton Drive recently is they've tarmacked over the pavement. They got rid of all the concrete slabs. There's a load of traffic cones along the verge there. Maybe someone's trying to stop them wheel spinning on the grass verges. These grass verges here look pretty good. We're making our way along Marton Drive in South Shore Blackpool, checking the trees. We've got 20 odd trees up to this point here. We're at Hemingway. You can see how busy this road is. I've just nipped back over again. Yeah, we're up to about 20 odd trees. I'm not going to count each and every one of them, but that's Hemingway, that road there. We've got a few more shops just up here. More trees as well. I think this is the 21st tree that I've just walked past there. Another salon over there called the Dollhouse. You know, a famous footballer, well, fairly famous footballer, Trevor Sinclair, ex-Blackpool, ex-Man City, actually, I believe he still owns a flat above one of these shops. He used to live round here. I think he still owns a flat. But we're now up to the junction with Marsden. I'll cross back over again. Does anyone remember Brown's Newsagent? It was in that, on the corner straight ahead now. Brown's Newsagent, yeah. Look at it now. It's been turned into, is it 2, 3 houses there? Brown's was right there on the corner of Marsden, and just over the road we've got another salon, a mini market, Chinese takeaway. But we'll carry on. More trees, Right, I'm just going to cross back over again. I'm all over the place in this video, aren't I? We're now up to the junction with Harcourt. And we've got another takeaway here, Chutney Blue. I just want to show you something over there. There are some people that don't bother having the curb dropped and they just drive over the... Oh, honestly, look at that there. Anyway, just over here used to be the Royal Hotel. That Tesco Express used to be the Royal. And there you go. Got some more shops here. Some of these shops up here never seem to do that well. So we're just over halfway along now on Marton Drive. We're up to about 27 trees at the last count. Shop on the corner called Budget Blinds. I remember when that was, I think it was in these convenience store at one time. So we carry on. Another couple of trees here. That takes us up to about 29, I think. More grass verges. Okay, here's a bit of a look back from where I've just been. I'm now at the junction here, just across the road, Powell Avenue, which is sort of part council, part private, or at least it was when it was first laid out. Yeah, bit of a council estate up this end of Marton Drive, but we've still got trees, 30, 31, 32. I'm not keeping a definite count here, by the way, but we're definitely over 30. And you can see there's plenty of space here to plant more. It looks like it's going to be around about 35 trees altogether, roughly. Let me know if you've counted more. But we're now coming up to a green. Here we go. A green. So we're almost at the end of Marton Drive now. There's the bridge there. Who remembers Ferodo? The Ferodo Bridge. It was a steel bridge that had Ferodo. I think the brakes company. And then when they did the new road, the Eden Way, when they put the new road in from the motorway, they put this new bridge in. There you go. And that was a look at Marton Drive. The tree-lined streets of Marton Drive. Okay, so I'm now at Watson Road Park here. We're only about 10 minutes away from the Pleasure Beach, by the way. We used to go to the Pleasure Beach all the time. We used to walk down there, just walk in there, waltz in, waltz out. Remember the good old days when you could do that in the Pleasure Beach? You can't do that anymore, can you? Anyway, that was a look at the tree-lined streets of Marton Drive and the new initiative to plant more trees to replace the ones that were diseased and died off, Dutch elm disease, all that sort of stuff. How about that? A new tree planting initiative here in Blackpool, and I'll have to come back and check up and see how they're doing, and when they finished it off, let's see how many trees they plant. I think I counted about 35 roughly, something like that, so they probably had about double that amount in the olden days, but I'll definitely come back and do a follow-up video on the tree-lined Marton Drive. If you like this video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and tick the bell for notifications of new videos, and I'll see you again on the next one.